It's not true.
Spock automatically turned to his console when it was
He said the chambers coil is overheating.
He automatically he didn't need Kirk to tell him. He had automatically moved to that to start checking.
Yeah.
And then Kirk looked to him and Spock goes, "No, everything's looking good."
Right. Well, Kirk says, he goes, "Could it be possible their comm system has failed?" And Spock goes, "It could explain a great many things." And then when that tension builds up, all of a sudden you get a message from Reliant. Hey, our chambers coil is overheating or overloading or whatever. It's affecting our communication. And with just like you said, non-verbals, like Kirk looks, Spock turns and looks at it and says their coil admissions are normal. And then he says they're raising shields. They're locking phasers.
Kirk goes to yellow alert and raises the basic defense.
As soon as Spock says the chamber coils are regular, he goes yellow alert and defense screens go up.
Right.
The shield should have already been up there, or something should have already been done according to what Savick said.
Right.
As soon as their shields go up, my shields go up. Not assuming it's a Reliant. Say there's another ship somewhere else that Reliant sees and we don't see, or whatever. As soon as Reliant shields go up, shields.
Something's wrong. They're raising their shields.
That's right.
Right.
Shields. Give me shields. As soon as their shields go up, give me shields.
And out of all the fancy graphics that they came up with later on, there's something about those dots.
Oh yeah, those dots
going around. There's something about the dots going around. It's like I love that. I love that they're raising shields.
So do I.
And that basic targeting graphic.
The thing is with Kirk is that it's like we know the mistakes he's making, but the question is, why is he making the mistakes? Well, the reason that Kirk is making the mistakes is because he's not extrapolating from what he knows to what's happening.
Right.
Because
he's still armchairing it.
He's still armchairing it. He is. What's that? You do DCS. They talk about when a fighter pilot gets behind the cockpit, like they're behind the cockpit of the aircraft. They're mentally behind where the jet is. They've got to crawl. Fighter pilots talk about crawling back into the cockpit and getting into that control thing. Kirk has come on a situation that he knows. You should know everything that's going on, like shields, phasers, torpedoes ready to go. Until I hear somebody crackling on the radio saying like, "Hey, whatever," and then that's fine. Shut down your energizers, be prepared to be boarded, and then we'll have a discussion. He should be doing all of that. He's not, because he's still armchairing it. He's he's struggling his way back into the chair.
Yes.
It's the last of the dust or the rust or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
That he's developed working at the fleet.
And unfortunately, that loyalty that we see here works against him, because as soon as Savick says, "Hey, General Order 12, whenever you have an established communication, we should take a defensive posture," everything. And what does Spock say? He goes, "The Admiral's very aware of the regulations," and it's like,
and we're going with his call.
Yeah,
he is, but he's so rusty now that he's not thinking about the danger.
And what Jake's getting at is it's a Starfleet vessel. It's a Starfleet vessel, so he's really not looking for it to be a problem, but the regulation exists for a reason. You know, you go shields up. You can go shields up and weapons ready. Approach it like they approached the Botany Bay,
right, in
Space Seed. And then if Tyrell calls you up like, "Hey dude, why you hey dude, why you that's a big ship you got there, Admiral. Why you locking phasers on?"
Khan even says that. He goes, they say, "Well, they haven't raised their shields yet." And he goes, "No, we're just one big happy fleet." Yep. You know. Yep. And then Khan commences to break a foot off and takes a can opener to the side of the Enterprise.
Oh man, did he open
tears main engineering apart?
He opened it up.
It wasn't one hit. No, I think there was probably at least a dozen shots along that hull.
Oh, you see it.
Well, yeah, he just peppers main engineering.
Oh yeah,
from the full torpedo launcher all the way back to midships.
Yeah,
he destroyed. He takes out main power. He temporarily cripples impulse. He takes weapons offline. He hits them in the perfect spot.
Well, Spock shows him the damage thing on the screen and goes, "He knew exactly where to hit us."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Who knew where to hit us?"
Right.
Yeah.
And
It's like, get those shields up. And Sulu's like, I can't get power. and Sulu was like bent over I don't know what was happening with Sulu, but he was like almost laying on the console.
Push the buttons harder. He's trying to get something. He's trying to get anything.
Yeah.
And then when Uhura said
they're
hailing us for surrender. Everybody's like, oh, we're not going to surrender. Kirk's like, shut up. Wait, we got to buy time.
Wait, you forgot the thing. They're walking away, and it's like, and he's like, says something to Scotty about getting some auxiliary or something like that. And you look at the view screen, and you see the Reliant just doing that rear torpedo fire, and Kirk goes, hang on.
That's probably the only.
What's left, Scotty? Just the battery, sir.
That's probably the only cliche line in the whole movie. Hang on.
Hang on.
They throw that in all the time.
What's left, Scotty? Just that battery, sir.
And Scotty's inhaled fumes. He's getting ready to pass out, and he's telling Kirk, he's like, I'll see what I can do.
Listen, OSHA's gonna be all over Scotty for running that. He's got all kinds of toxic things happening to him down there: radiation, fumes, heat.
And then you get the second big reveal of the movie.
Right. Khan himself.
Khan comes on screen. And it's perfect because, again, Ricardo Montalban is delivering the same guy.
Right.
That he was in Space Seed.
Right.
His body language, his expression, everything.
Yeah.
He's sitting there like, I got you, Kirk. It's me.
How about Sir William's reaction to it? He's like,
and that's the other half of it. He's like, Khan. Oh man. He's like, this is not happening.
Admiral Kirk, you remembered me. I can't help but be touched.
Yeah. And Khan's just like,
Kirk goes, what's the meaning of this? He goes, I thought I made my meaning clear.
He's like, I've come to kill you, man.
I deprive you of your ship, and I'm about to deprive you of your life.
Yeah. When I come about, I'm taking you out.
And then the great thing is, the revenge component is there, right?
Yeah.
But Khan introduces. What does he do? Raise the stakes. He goes, Kirk goes, listen, if you want me, I'll have myself beamed over. Just spare my crew. And he goes, I'll consider that as long as you also throw in
everything
the Genesis
you have on
device.
Genesis.
So at this point, Khan's already won.
Yeah.
It is Khan's greed that causes him to lose out in the end. If he would have like you're playing poker and you get a good hand, and then you go all in on the next hand and you get wiped out. If Khan would have just stopped,
killed Kirk and went on about his business,
just walked. Even if he if he took out the Enterprise, just walked away.
Yeah.
But no, he wants Genesis too.
Yeah. Because at that moment,
it's like we said in Space Seed, it's the arrogance of Khan.
At that,
but
the overreach.
I don't know. Sometimes I think about. Well, I'm just recently thinking about. Did Khan introduce that because maybe he was feeling as though Kirk may not have known about Genesis, and that by saying that, then Kirk would have went looking for Genesis, and then Khan could do what you know what I'm saying? Like,
no,
he supposedly already went and tried to find it, and he couldn't find it.
He already went to Regulus.
He knew Kirk was connected to Genesis.
Okay.
Right.
Genesis becomes the bait to draw Kirk in.
Right. Initially.
Then he goes
to Regulus
and finds out enough
information.
He wants it.
Yeah, but Khan put everything in place for Kirk to find it. He put those guys there. You know, we'll get to it, but it's like he knew that Kirk was going to probably be able to find it where he couldn't have.
Right.
So that's why I question when he goes, "Give me all the materials on Genesis." Because it's like, oh, once Kirk knows that that's that he's going for, he's got to go and secure it, and all you got to do is follow him.
Well, at this point, Khan knows about it, but he doesn't have possession of it yet.
Yeah.
He doesn't have physical possession of it yet.
Yeah.
So he's looking to get more from Kirk to further that, because he's decided he wants it.
And then you get to see two experienced Starfleet captains kind of over there at the rail.
Yeah.
And Kirk's like, just keep nodding as though I'm giving you orders.
Right.
And Spock's, and he's going like, well, what about Reliance Command Council? And he goes, yeah. He goes, we can try that, but if he didn't,
he's pretty smart. He might have changed
very
the code.
intelligent. He might have changed the code.
And Savick was still lost.
I love that line. I use that line a lot when I talk to people like in leadership. I'm like, I always say, Kirk says you have to understand the way a starship works.
Right.
Right? Like that.
Right.
That's such a great line, and you can use it for you understand how a hospital works. You got to understand how this works. Right?
Yeah.
Why things work on a starship, and it's like
What
there's
do
a
you-
command code for each console that each ship has to prevent an enemy from doing what we're trying to do, which is order Reliant to lower her shields.
What do you guys think of this, though? I'll buy that there's a combination prefix code to lock out the main computer of a ship.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
Do you buy that
They could do it over the radio.
do you buy that all the ship captains can access the other guy's code and that
No.
this?
Well, here's what I will tell you: the majority of spacecraft that we've created are controlled by telemetry.
Yeah, true.
So, I mean, if you had a crew that was disabled and you got this multi-trillion-dollar starship, wouldn't you be able to
If you
dial in a code and bring it back in?
I struggle with, or I question, and this is just kind of a ship thing, but I struggle with the Enterprise having it in its banks, theoretically, the prefix code of any other ship.
I always assume, I know that's the way it's portrayed. I always assumed that was an Admiral thing.
That's where I was going to say next. If you tell me Kirk's access level allows him to get that information,
Right.
I think that's what I'm saying.
but that's not what they do.
I know.
Kirk says, get the code. Spock looks it up.
Right.
There's no special Kirk Alpha 1-1.
Right.
There's none of that.
One's Alpha 0,
Spock
1
goes
0,
into his
Alpha
console and gets it. It's in there. And he doesn't need anything special to get it. And I was kind of like,
Well, I would say that Spock being a captain
Right.
probably has
And it is his ship, technically.
an access to get the codes
Clearly-
to other starships.
Clearly-
Because the reason I'm saying this is because if you came across a derelict starship
Right.
and you had to take control over it,
Right.
you would need to be able to input the access codes.
Right.
oh, and I'll buy that. And I'll even go along with you in that Spock knew about it, Kirk knew about it, Savick and the others didn't seem to understand it. They didn't seem to know. They didn't seem to know offhand that their ships had a combination code.
Well, I will tell you, too, it seems like the code is sort of limited because would you order Reliant to drop her shields or would you order her energizers to immediately
Engines
turn
to
off?
turn off.
Yeah.
Kirk might have been doing what was expedient in the moment.
Yeah, shutting down Reliant might have taken too long. Dropping her shields and doing some damage to her that she can't fight back
Yeah.
is probably better off.
Yeah. Tactically, it was probably the better decision.
But what I also like about this is the beginning of showing very realistically. Okay, Khan took Reliant. He's moving it around. He's moved up from Space Seed. They're maneuvering. They got somewhat proficient at the weapons. They're doing all the things. They're still rookies.
Yeah.
Yep.
They don't wait till later to tell you they're rookie. They show you throughout this. The reason Kirk survives is because Khan is still a rookie.
Spock
Not
says
a
it.
rookie
Spock,
in experience.
yeah, Spock sums it up. He goes, he's very intelligent, but his thinking suggests two dimensions.
Right. He says it later on.
He's
Two
not
dimensions.
He's not a naval man.
Right.
So
He's intelligent, but not experienced.
It's like we were talking in Space Seed when he had the schematics of the Enterprise. Having the schematics of something doesn't help you do it. Like I said, from DCS, and if anybody gets into it, it's a flight simulator for military planes. The codes, dude, are just retarded. I mean, no, you got to know them.
Yeah.
And you got to know how to input them.
Right.
Or you can't do certain things. We're talking about a starship here.
Well, and that's what we get. I mean, first of all, the interplay between Kirk and Khan. You know, Khan's like, I'm coming around to kill you. Hurry up! And he's like, Khan, the computer.
It's coming through now, Con.
He said, you promised not to.
No, do you have your? How do we know you're going to keep your word? And he goes, I gave you.
Giving
There
you
was no words for me to
give.
give.
Yeah.
I know what to
Just from my point of view, you
have no choice.
You have no
I
choice.
see.
I'm going to kill you either way.
Yeah. And Kirk goes, I see your point.
But
Get ready to receive our transmission.
there's a moment here where Kirk fully moves from kind of the sleeping
Sleeping grandfather.
grandfather.
Back into the big chair.
Kirk fully comes back into his own because he's playing weak.
Right.
He's like, Khan, the computers are smashed. I need a little more time. But that dog is back in. That dog is back in him. The synapses are firing.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you caught me napping. Never again.
Yeah.
And he's like, and I love it when Spock's whispering to him over the shoulder, like, I got it, we got it, ready.
And then Spock walks over to the console, and Kirk goes,
he goes,
lock phasers, Sulu, and Sulu goes, phasers lock.
Yeah, and so Khan makes another statement, and Kirk goes, here it comes.
Here it comes.
He looks at him very,
boop,
here
1,
it comes.
Boop, 6, boop, 0.
Now I would have thought
our shields are lowering. Raise them. I can't.
Yeah, I would have thought that Reliant would have known the Enterprise was locking phasers, but they're sitting there. They got their shields up, and it's like, okay, they're targeting. So what?
Yeah.
But yeah, again, they're inexperienced. The shields go down. Everybody freaks out. Like, put them back.
Where's the override?
That's the
override.
They're looking. The dude's looking. The camera's
but that's
moving.
a great scene.
It's a great scene
because it shows you how you're out of your depth.
You're out of your depths, dude.
Sulu,
we should edit a DCS panel in front of it.
Sulu looks at that console and knows the whole thing forward and back.
Yeah.
Their shields are dropping, and Khan's like, I know there's a button.
The override. Where's the override?
Even those, you walk them out of the way.
Yeah,
he's like, you know. Oh.
He's like, it's here. And it's just a sea of switches. And he's like, And Enterprise hurt, crippled,
open,
quarter power, delivers the business. Direct hit on the impulse drive.
Well, it's the 21-inch guns that, that's loose on the cruiser. It's like
direct hit on the impulse deck. Takes weapons offline.
That's Sulu, man.
Yeah,
Sulu's
like, I got to hit him here.
Yeah,
I got to hit him here. I got to hit him here.
Yeah.
And we can book.
Yeah.
Damages Reliant to the point where they can limp away on quarter impulse power, and Reliant at that moment can't pursue.
He goes, fire. He goes, we can't fire. Fire control has been damaged as well as the warp drive.
Yeah.
Because Enterprise is not going anywhere.
Yeah,
we've got to withdraw.
Right. So they back off.
And that's when Kirk makes the statement to Mr. Savik, quote the regs, because I got
Keep
caught.
quoting regs. I got
caught with
great.
Now the dog is back.
Great. No, here's the thing. Yeah, the dog is back, but here's what I'll tell you. Harv Bennett doesn't give you it all, because what does Kirk do? He takes an old man handkerchief out and he blots his sweat.
Yeah.
So in other words, what you're saying is like the dog is out, but the dog has got a gray muzzle. Like he's not fully restored to this person. He's now competent again, but you could see the damage he's taking. That sweat, he's wiping it off like an old man.
Well, it contrasts to Space Seed again. Space Seed supposedly, we said in Space Seed, that's peak Kirk. That's Kirk. He's on his game, right?
Right.
That's 2267. Now it's 2285, and here we go.
Yeah, and it's just what it is just telling the audience that it's not like he's
right.
He's opened up.
It's not instant.
He's not Superman again. He's better. You're going to start trusting him a little bit more. But when you see a guy blotting the sweat from himself with a hanky, that's an aging move.
No, that is an aging move. But the point I'm making, he turns to Mr. Savik, and say, "Look, you were right. I got caught with my pants down.
Right.
That's not gonna happen.
Right.
It's like, we got past this one.
Right.
After that scene of him he doesn't dab himself anymore.
Right.
He's not patting his head for sweat anymore. Right. He's the dog 100%. He doesn't have a physical ability, but being a captain, knowing how the system works, knowing what it takes to win a fight, that's all back.